Welcome back to Association Insights. I'm Colin Gallagher, and this is Onward and Upward's weekly series answering all of your association marketing and communications questions. For this week, we got the often asked question, is the press release dead? So for those of us in PR, I think I've been dealing with this question for most of my career. It's definitely not new, and it has been asked for some time now. So let's talk first about the evolution of the press release, the challenges it faces, and then get to whether it's still relevant for today's media landscape. So the press release has obviously been a staple of PR for, well over a century. And originally it was how you got your news out there. You put out your press release and reporters would cover it and it would be in the newspaper. That's obviously not the case anymore. We have the internet, we have social media, there's real-time news. Things have changed a lot on that front. Even the press release has changed. You can include multimedia elements and use it as a storytelling tool. So clearly lots and lots of things have changed. That's not news to anyone. And the press release faces some pretty significant challenges in today's environment. We're dealing with a lot of oversaturation. There's so many press releases issued every day. I can't imagine what it must be like to be on the reporter side getting all of those pitches and releases from us on the PR side of things. So it can be really challenging for companies to stand out and get their message heard. There's also a general declining trust in national media, lots of different, reports of this. And it's also just, very clear, messaging that has come through in recent years. The Edelman Trust Barometer is one where this really stands out. But, in essence, that's led to a lot of people turning to social media and other sources for news, which again makes it harder to get your news out there by issuing a press release. And obviously instantaneous news. So with social media changing our lives and other real-time news platforms, news is reported as it happens. So when you think about a press release in some companies, it takes a lot to get that out there. You've got to get it written, you've got to get it through all these stages of approval, and then you've got to get it distributed. And by then, is this even still news? So that, that's certainly an issue. And so when we get this, is the press release dead question, I decided to put it into ChatGPT and ask for a humorous response to that question. And I liked its answer. It made me laugh a little. It says, the press release is like a party guest who arrives late and brings a fruitcake. No one really wants it, but it's there. And I felt like that was a pretty accurate description about a press release. It's often a necessary evil, and you have to just think about it differently. So when I think about whether it can still be effective in today's media landscape, I think we need to go to purpose and not think about it as a driver of news coverage necessarily, but as a driver of some other goals. So you're creating a permanent record of news and events that can be accessed by media outlets and stakeholders in the future. There's SEO benefits for sure. So they can be optimized for search engines, helping to improve your online presence and your visibility. And they can still influence news coverage. So it might not be that you write a press release and there's news coverage out there, but if it's included with a custom pitch as here's more information down below that a reporter can reference, that might be helpful. That might be a useful way to do it, but it needs to be custom and tailored for that reporter in the pitch. And then the press release is a supporting document. It's not being able to just write your press release and, all right, great, I'm going to get this news coverage. So my verdict is that, while it's not the same, it's certainly not dead yet, but I would love to hear others' opinions and thoughts on this. I know it's quite the debated topic. And with that, thank you for tuning in once again for this week's Association Insights. I'll be back next Friday with more marketing and communications tips, and you can always send any of your questions to us at info@onwardupward.com.